What's up, everybody? I've got this electrostatic dust catcher that I picked up from AliExpress. If you're interested, here's the QR code that you can scan and check it out. I have not used it yet, so this is kind of an unboxing and first time use. It's my first time kind of doing an unboxing and all that stuff. I was opening it up and I was like, well, let me just let everybody in on the unboxing and we'll test this thing out. I may even take it over our friend's house that, has tables that aren't as clean as mine and try it over there. They're going to want to keep it though. Like, nope, order your own, buddy. Okay, there's the box. Get that out of here. Comes with the, how's that pronounced? Cookie? I probably screwed that up there. Okay, and it's just using electrostatic principle through the wipe can clean, effectively remove billiard table BAIZE. How is that pronounced? Stubborn stains, chalk powder, dust to help extend the billiard table service life. All right, let's check that out. And it also came with something else, a little quality thing here. All right, that's nice. And it's got a little, there's a little something in here to figure out. That's a little pad, probably has, sticky adhesive on it for something or another. I'll have to look at that. There's no instructions about what to do with that. All right, so let's get this plastic off of here. The design of this thing looks pretty, this is pretty impressive. I even like this, I'll figure out something to do with that. Okay, so looks like it's got something. Maybe you store it in there. Okay, so use direction. So it looks like it, you pull it in one direction here. So we're gonna check that out. Should have went to the website to see if there's like a video or something. I'm gonna keep this kind of stored in. There's no information on how to clean this thing. Maybe it's just to wipe it in the different direction or swipe it or something, because it's like a lint roller, but it's probably charged in a way that, I don't know, electrons or protons or whatever, that it attracts dust. And I can see a piece of dust right there. You probably can't see that, but I'm going to be looking for that to be on here in just a second here. So usage direction. So you're supposed to pull this towards you. So I'm just going to try right here. I can feel the tension because of the texture, and it's really gripping. It's really gripping the cloth, and that's cool. Let me move these pool balls out of the way here. There we go. That's quick and easy. And let me go for that piece right there. Oh yeah, it's gone. It's gone. Okay. I think this thing is pretty cool. I do looks like I kind of pulled up just a little bit of my CPBA. This thing's cool. This thing is definitely cool. Now, I will show you kind of. Now, these are what I'm normally using to clean my table, and I'm really happy with it. this is an inexpensive, cheap robot vacuum, and I think I paid like $39 for it at the time, on Amazon. It was about a year ago. It works pretty decently, but this is from like Temu, I believe, and it's got the same type of back as that. It's got the little rubber, and you can see it's kind of blue because I've been using it a lot. And this, I just, wipe, and it goes into the reservoir, which I just cleaned out. Believe me, it was a lot of dust and stuff in there, and it works pretty good. And also this inexpensive lint roller here, I think it was $2, and I think Feder Gorst sells these for like $20 on his website, so you can go to Temu or whatever and get that. I think this thing was like $7, and I like that it has a handle. This thing was pretty cheap. I think it was like $9-10, so that's the reason why I went for it. But this thing is very nice, very nice. So I could see, using this first and then using this to kind of go over it as well. This will condition the cloth. I can see that the fibers are uniform in a direction, and it lays down. So that's going to add to the speed of the table. That's really going to help the speed of the table. The reason I use this is that it's not a great robot vacuum. I have one that I use in the house that has 10 times the suction of this one. So this one is not going to pull the cloth because the suction is so strong. It's light enough. It's good for like non-carpeted floors. If you want to use it on your floor, which is non-carpeted. And I used to have carpet down here until that flood, and then I had to replace it. I didn't want to go with carpet again, so that thing works pretty good with dust bunnies and stuff on hard surfaces. But yeah, I think this thing is great. I like the use direction, and I don't know if you saw that there, that it got it. This thing's pretty nice. It's just it's getting stuff up. Now, how to get stuff off of it, I don't know. We'll figure that out. We'll figure that out. But I mean, it's really getting stuff up, and I like the way the floor, the felt is laying down after that. It's similar to this, but the area it's like almost 4 times the area. So, this thing's cool. I think it was like $6, but if you're gonna get one, I would probably get that. Depending on the price. Then we got to figure out what this is for. I may let you know. Okay, the other thing that I want to talk about today is a product that a friend of mine makes, Super Magnetic Chalk Pro. And you can go to his website, and you can check that out, supermagneticchalkpro.com. Now, you get, you can take your pick of whatever coins, that's what he calls them. I chose the little simple one, 8-ball, and you get, a chalk holder, a square chalk holder. And I want to show you something here. This, you won't believe this. Look at that. It's going through my skin. So, I mean, if you have a heart condition or whatever, you might want to or pacemaker, you might want to keep this away from, that. But this is amazing. Super Magnetic Chalk Pro. You can, I generally just put this in my pocket. I put the coin in my pocket, and, right there. But for these purposes, I'm going to use my hoodie right here, and I'll put the coin in my hoodie, and right there while you're shooting, you pretty much don't have to worry about this. Now, some of those other magnetic chalks, they're not strong enough. You're going to lose your chalks. And if you've got more expensive chalks, you're going to run into a problem with it. This takes actual, it takes some grip. He said the way to get it off is like you got to twist it, and that works out pretty good here. And now here's my, ultimate bulk chalk that I use, and then right there, I put a magnet on it to work with Super Magnetic Chalk Pro right there, and you can just have different you know different chalks on here. The one that he provides is just it's outstanding. It's rubber. It's going to last a long time. This is a pretty good product. Um, I do not worry about my chalk at all. So give it a try. Super Magnetic Chalk Pro. We'll talk to you later.